Thanks for listening to Middle Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash.
I'm Joel.
And we are a podcast about all things strange and unusual, death and UFOs, and other creepy,
cults,
weird, random
ghosts.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I'm just naming things in the room.
Oh my god.
There's a cult of ghosts. Woman is pursued by a psychopath after being locked in a parking garage on Christmas Eve. What's up, everybody? This is Joel. Welcome back to Middle Age and Mediocre. I'm here with my good friend Cash. Good friend.
Good. I mean,
acquaintance.
Good acquaintance.
If we see each other in public, we turn the other way.
We will politely
nod,
nod and continue on. Yes.
But yeah, welcome back. This is another real crime episode.
2 E's.
Yeah, 2 E's, because it's too easy. I don't know.
What?
It's real crime. This is where it's how'd you put it so eloquently on Facebook there? I like that description.
It is a.
I'm just like, I'm gonna make a movie story.
It is a retelling.
Yeah.
Of a film. Let me see here. It's a retelling of a movie presented in a true crime style narrative.
Cool. And I'll give you the name after the movie. I'm sure a lot of you will, all four of you will.
I don't know. You told me what the movie was,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think this movie was super
it
popular.
I think it was even filmed in Canada. So.
Well, so you know.
Yeah.
You know how
I can't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure. I think I read that somewhere along the way. But this is Christmas Eve, 2007. Do you just want to get right into it?
Yeah, it's.
And then we'll do our bullshit afterwards.
Buddy, it's your show.
All right.
Whatever you want to do.
All right. Well, shut it down. I'm here to talk about my feelings.
That works too.
Man.
We can just do some therapy.
Like seasonal depression.
Mm-hmm.
It's real.
It is the season.
Holiday depression.
Yeah.
You're like, let's just like get cold and throw the holidays on you.
It's always dark.
It is always dark.
Always dark.
Even in the day, it's dark.
Still, yeah.
No. I'm actually pretty good. Okay, let's get into some real crime. Christmas Eve, 2007, Angela works in an office building, New York City, New York.
The Big Apple.
Not New York City, Alabama.
The New York City.
The New York City. The Big Apple. You've been there. Andrew WK talked to you.
Andrew WK talked. I talked to him.
Yeah.
We filmed a commercial together.
You did. I seen it.
Yeah.
I seen it. About like dude wipes or something.
I upstaged him.
You did a little bit.
I upstaged him.
He wasn't expecting that.
He wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he's like, look at this hillbilly. I'm gonna talk to him.
They're like, do you want to talk out?
Are you nervous?
I go, no, I'm good. Let's go. I was like, dude,
let's go, Andrew.
This is what I do.
Let's go, Mr. K.
I show up in random commercials about male hygiene wipes.
It changed my life.
Yeah, mine too. It did.
Well, Angela's life was changed on Christmas Eve 2007. She worked in a high-rise in New York City, some sort of lawyer's office. I don't know. I didn't delve too deep into it.
I doubt the movie did either.
But she was working on Christmas Eve. And, of course, her boss was down her throat about getting, like, a job finished, and just really on her ass. She was supposed to go to her sister's in New Jersey because she had the Santa suit in her trunk. Her parents were there in New Jersey, her niece, they were going to have a family dinner. Mm-hmm. And she was trying to get out of work to get to there. Of course, she had to stay late. She's doing all this work. She's one of the last people in the building, that part of the building.
Well, the boss sounds like a real piece of work.
Hey,
it's Christmas Eve.
That's how you be a boss.
I think the business profits and happenings can wait.
Well, that's why you're not a boss, buddy.
That is a fact.
So she's one of the last ones in the building, and she leaves and she runs into the security guard, and they ride down to the lobby together. Okay. So she gets down to the lobby. And she goes from the lobby. There's like you walk to a different part of the building, and that gets you to the elevators to take you to the parking garage.
Isn't this that R. Kelly song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one? All of them?
The hotel lobby.
Is this Stuck in the Closet? Or Trapped in the Closet?
Sure.
Okay. But she gets to she goes to her car in the parking garage, one of the last cars in the whole building. Okay. Christmas Eve, the place is pretty much deserted. And she gets in the car, and her car won't start.
Okay.
And she's kind of, not happy about that, obviously.
Well, no.
So she gets everything out of her trunk, and she's going to...
walk to New Jersey.
Yes, her plan is to walk to New Jersey with bags of presents, the Santa suit, everything.
Okay.
But as she's trying to leave, the parking garage is now locked. So now she's trapped in the parking garage. And she goes and finds the parking garage's office. And, let's see. Last one on. Let me turn my page here.
Which around this area, the parking garages are never staffed.
Oh, no.
So most parking garages are never really staffed.
But this one luckily has a 24-hour attendant.
Okay.
So she loaded up the presents to Santa's suit, but the doors were locked to the lobby. And then she made her way to the parking garage security office. So, like, even the parking garage had security, the building had security, you know, different whatever.
Yeah.
So she walked in the office, and she said that she was almost attacked by a Doberman, but luckily it was on a chain. The security guard has a dog. And he said the dog lunged at her, but luckily it was chained up, and that's where she also met the security guard, Thomas. Like, she's seen him before leaving, you know, waved to him, whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's where she met Thomas, and she asked Thomas to unlock the elevator doors so she could get back to the main lobby, you know, call a cab, and just go to her sister. She was done messing with it all. But Thomas said that's probably just her battery. He could jump it. And she was reluctant at first, but he talked her into it. He was real persistent. So they went back to the car to try to jump it to see if they could get it to run.
He's just, like, too helpful.
A little bit too helpful. Yeah. So he was unable to get the car to start. It was weird because, like, it wasn't the battery because the lights would work, the radio would work, but the car just wouldn't start.
Probably the alternator.
That's what I was thinking. Or the starter. Those are the only two things I know.
Starter's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, there's the alternator too. They're you know, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You know,
Could have been a catalytic converter.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on a catalytic converter, pal. We don't have time to get me started on catalytic converters. Okay, so at this point, Angela's she said she was really just defeated. You know what I mean? Just
Christmas Eve, trying to get to Jersey.
Yeah.
You got to be Santa, I think, is what's happening.
And Thomas was, you know, trying to apologize, and she just said she was a little short with him, but instantly kind of apologized for it, and just said, you know, let me call a cab. I just want to get to my sister.
Yeah, Tommy, hey, just unlock the goddamn gates, let me out of this so I can call a cab.
But at this time, Thomas said that he's prepared a Christmas Eve meal and invited her to stay and eat with him.
What are we doing, Tommy? What's happening?
And she said it was super awkward, and he immediately walked it back and said he was kidding. Just kidding.
Yes, you put it out there.
LOL. Yeah,
unless you're interested.
If you're not, it was a joke.
Just totally joke.
Fuck you, that was a joke. I don't want to eat with you.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Ew, girls.
Stupid. Unless you want to. You don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. So after that, you know, it was pretty fucked up, right?
Probably pretty awkward.
James is ready to get out of there, but Thomas lets her into the lobby.
Okay.
She gets in the lobby. She makes her call. She calls the cab. She sits down, and after the whole day of working and everything, she actually fell asleep in the lobby.
Like you do.
But luckily, when the taxi arrived, they called her cell phone after she wouldn't come out. So she was released. She gathered up all her stuff, ran to the lobby doors of the building, but they were locked by key, so she couldn't even get out. Like, there wasn't, you could only unlock it with the key. So she had to find the security guard that she saw earlier.
Yeah.
And she was looking for the security guard, couldn't find him anywhere. So then she went back to the parking garage to try to get Thomas, to see if Thomas had a key, Thomas could let him out, you know, whatever. Well, she gets down to the parking garage, and he's not there either.
Well, he's eating dinner. So.
Yeah, he's really upset about her turning down his offer.
I mean, he had a turkey in the oven. Probably.
Yeah. So. But while she was waiting, she did call her sister, gave her an update, let her know that, you know, she was waiting for a taxi. She was going to be a little late. Her sister was worried, but, you know, she understood. You know, this is, like, beyond her control, obviously. Her car wouldn't start. You know, she's waiting on her taxi. Well, you know, then, of course, she can't get out the door to the taxi.
Because she apparently works in the most secure building of all time.
Yes. Well, it's New York City.
Well.
You can't, they have a lot of homeless, as I've heard.
Well. I mean, don't judge a city by its homeless.
I would never.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, she yelled for the guard. No one's around, so she ran to the parking garage. And, of course, all the doors there were locked. Thomas was nowhere to be found. And the taxi drove off because she was trying to use her phone in the parking garage, but it's underground.
No service.
So, no service, exactly. So then all the lights in the garage went out.
All right.
Like, the lights were on, but then the taxi drove off, all the lights went out, and the only light she had was her cell phone. You gotta remember, this is 2007, so it's like a flip phone.
Yeah.
So she could probably see about a half a foot in front of her.
Right.
And she's fumbling around in the darkness towards trying to make her way back to the security office, and she tripped over one of the little things you park in front of. Those little they're like little curves. You know what I mean? The straight pieces of concrete.
Like little. Oh.
What do you call those?
I don't know.
Well, they have them. She tripped over one of those in the darkness. She said.
Like little speed bumps.
They can't see what you're doing with your hand. You're making like a wavy motion with your hand.
Yeah, just
like when you go pull into a parking garage, just like so your car doesn't go too far forward. It's just one of those like raised off 3-4 inches off the ground blocks of concrete.
Nobody's ever named them.
Yeah, we'll name it later. Okay, let's not catalytic converters and whatever the fuck those are. We're gonna have a talk after we're done recording. So she tripped on that, fell. Everything went like flying out of her hands, and she was able to make her way up.
Well,
and
she's carrying a Santa suit, a bunch of presents.
Yeah, a bag full of presents, she said.
Yeah.
And as soon as she stands up, she starts to gather herself, and someone grabbed her from behind.
Okay.
And she says next thing she remembers, she woke up in the parking garage security office chained to a chair.
That's not good.
Yeah, like what the fuck? And then Thomas, she woke up to Thomas in the Santa suit, and Angela was now wearing a dinner dress with makeup on.
It was not a joke.
No, he really wanted this. Really wanted this apparently. Well, she woke up and she saw the dog. The dog's name is Rocky.
Okay.
He's a Doberman, so those are scary dogs.
Right.
Not a miniature. A full-grown ass Doberman.
Full grown.
And she woke up and Thomas she could tell that Thomas really didn't have a plan beyond like
putting her in a dress and
hanging
her up.
That, and he kind of treated it like it was a first date. Like this guy's clearly was something was wrong with him.
Well, yeah.
And she said she tried to talk to her way out of things. Thomas just made it clear she wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't going to let her go. He started asking her about her hobbies.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, because this is a first date, and he's a gentleman. What do you enjoy besides not being tied to a chair?
Yeah, it's nice that he's asking her about her.
He mentioned that he likes to read. Thomas is a reader, and he's reading Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises.
Uh-huh.
And he tells her...
Garage, he doesn't.
He tells her it's about a man who loves a girl so much, he's willing to forgive everything she does, even her infidelities.
That fucking Hemingway. He's the root of a lot of evil.
He is, yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of crazy people. And said that's what love's supposed to be, is what Thomas said.
Yeah, that's what love is.
So Angela, trying to outthink this creep, lies and tells her that she has a boyfriend. And if she doesn't, make it to her sister's, her boyfriend knows where she works, and he's gonna come to the office and look for Angela. But Thomas, she could tell that Thomas immediately knew that she was just full of shit.
Well, also if she can't get out, he can't get in.
Yeah.
And by the time Christmas Day happens and the office opens back up, he's wearing her skin. She's going to be in pieces. So
that's the second date. This is the first date.
This isn't the best plan from her.
But she said something shifted in Thomas after that. Like he got, I don't know how you could call it meaner, but he got something changed in him. When she tried to lie about having a boyfriend.
Right. He's no longer trying to welcome her to his book club. It is now she's lied to him.
Yeah.
She has scorned him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing the thing he just said was love, where he forgives her for her
infidelities. Yeah, immediately he
immediately backtracks on that.
Well, then he started listing off Angela's family members.
Oh, okay. Well, this is good.
She knew about the father, the mom, the sister, the niece. And I think she kind of did that to prove that he knows she doesn't have a boyfriend because he knows everything about her life.
Right.
He then forces Angela to call her sister and tell her that Angela wasn't going to be coming for Christmas. And as she was calling him, Angela says...
Is this how that song, I Won't Be Home for Christmas?
Because I've been kidnapped. She said that Thomas put the phone on speakerphone and then placed his hands around her neck so she wouldn't try to lie or give any signals or anything.
Right.
And she says she still couldn't really, like, her family could tell something was wrong. Her niece answered the phone, didn't really recognize her voice. Then her sister got on the phone, and she tried to tell her sister she wasn't feeling good, so she was just going home. And her sister actually gave her a hard time about it. Like, this is typically you, Angela. Like, we're all here. Like, what are you doing? And then her mom gets on the phone and tells her, like, you know, we understand. Come tomorrow when you wake up. We love you. You know, she was able to. She got through the phone call. You know,
unkilled,
yeah. Unchoked.
Yes.
So now Thomas had her all to herself. No one was expecting her. The building's empty. This is gonna be a hell of a first date. Thomas did say that he had a present for her.
You know,
I'm not going to say he's a good guy, but he has maybe good intentions. We'll see.
I don't think so.
It was a VHS tape that Thomas had.
In 2007?
Yes. Well, it was from security footage.
Oh.
So he played it for her, and it was security footage from the Christmas party in an elevator where Angela was riding with the coworker, and the coworker had a little too much to drink, made a pass at Angela, tried to kiss her. Angela easily fought him off. Like, obviously, it really bothered Angela, but she easily fought him off. The guy felt terrible about it. Even earlier in the day, while she was trying to work, he actually tried to apologize to her. You know, and she said he thought he was slime. You know, like, but obviously, you know, but Thomas had seen it through the footage. So
I bet he did not like that.
Thomas was not happy. Yeah, he was saying how the coworker. You know, he needed to pay for this, and so after the tape, he actually unlocked Angela's chain, and
he's actually dinner.
They were eating, you know. So as soon as he unlocked her chain, she grabbed the fork and stabbed him in the back. Thomas.
Gotcha.
So there was another struggle, and Thomas was able to get the upper hand, and he handcuffed her behind her back this time. You know, and he forgave her for the forking.
I think that's called second base.
He forgave her for the forking, okay? So he fought her off, and then he placed her in his car and started to drive around the parking garage.
Okay.
So they're going down further and further. You know, right now they're at level P2, and that's actually that's right below the street level. And so they're going down, and they get down to the bottom level, and as they turn, Angela can see her coworker taped to another office chair in the middle of the parking garage.
Right, I suspected that he
like
was
totally he wasn't there voluntarily. She could tell. You know, he said that she was taped up. He looked like he'd been probably, you know, beaten a little bit to get into the chair. And Thomas said that that was Angela's present.
Oh.
Because he was gonna make Angela feel better about it and teach this guy a lesson.
Okay.
All right, Thomas said guys like this have to learn. They can't just go around touching whoever they want to touch. You know, and Angela tried to plead with him, saying, you know, he's already apologized. I accepted his apology. But Thomas apparently, he says that this guy's done this more than once. So he must have seen, as a security guard, maybe he'd seen other footage of this guy he's not a good guy, but he probably doesn't deserve to be chained up to a chair in the bottom of a parking garage.
You know, he's not the best guy, but like he hasn't kidnapped her.
Yeah, and changed her out unconscious body into a dress.
Yeah.
So he tries to give Angela a bat.
Okay.
So Angela can go out there, and her hands are still cupped behind her back, so I don't, you know.
Hard to bat that way.
It is.
Yeah.
That Little League was tough with my hands.
I think they should do that in Major League Baseball.
Oh.
Just to really spice things up.
Like if your team's down, be like, you know, you can like pull out like some special token, and the other team has to bat with their hands handcuffed behind their back.
For like at least an inning.
I like that.
I do too.
Well, I'll call it baseball after this.
Thank you.
But the more Angela refused, the more Thomas was getting upset, thinking that Angela was on this guy's side. He's an unbalanced fella.
Is he?
Thomas? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First I'm hearing of it.
So Thomas gets out, and he's screaming at Angela about how he deserves it. Angela's screaming at him, begging him to stop.
Right.
Well, he takes his mag light and just starts beating the fuck out of this guy.
Oh,
he
the
hit
guy.
him.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy. He hit the guy in the head and face 12 times, Angela said.
And those are not...
mag lights are pretty... Like, that cops carry them because they can fuck you up.
Yeah.
So then Thomas gets back into the car. The guy's still alive. He's barely moving in the chair. And Angela says we need to get him help. Mm-hmm. And Thomas still can't believe that she's
Thomas is gonna get him help.
trying to stick up for this guy.
Right.
So he says he's gonna help him.
Oh.
So he then takes his car, drives into the chair. The chair's on wheels, luckily. And he pushes the guy in, picking up speed, pushing him towards the wall, and then smashes him into the parking garage wall.
Shit.
He backs up, smashes into him again. Angela said she was hysterical. Like, she's screaming, she's crying. Thomas backs up one more time, floors it. He knocks him into the wall. His head explodes, blood all over the windshield. And she said Angela said she was able to turn at this point and open the car door and escape.
Okay. Oh, so she's in the car.
She's still in the car.
Okay.
While Thomas is backing up and just destroying this guy taped to an office chair after beating him with the mag light.
Yeah, that is a bad way to die.
And she was able to make it, Angela was, like I said, she was able to escape, and you know how parking garages are. She, like, kind of climbed up that level, like, where they start to meet. She was able to, like, go up a couple levels from the bottom.
Her hands, though?
Well, once she got away from Thomas, she was able to find a dark spot to hide, get her hands up in front of her, still handcuffed.
Right.
And she was walking around. She could even see grates that were, you know, right below the streets in New York City.
Yeah.
And she tried to scream up for help, but no one could hear. No one's around. It's Christmas Eve.
Even if not, New York City is hustling and bustling.
It's a hustling and a bustling.
Bunch of horns honking.
Yeah.
For some reason.
People just yell, "Hey!
Hey, I'm walking
here!"
rat holes. Sinkholes open up for rats.
So she actually made it back to the security office, the parking garage security office, and Thomas wasn't around, but Rocky was in there.
That's the dog. Okay.
That's the dog. And she went and he's chained to the desk, but he still has, he has a lead on the chain. He can get around.
Yeah.
And she had to, like, kind of crawl up on some filing cabinets. She was able to make it to her purse, and right as she grabbed it, Rocky grabbed the other part of the person. It was a little bit of a tug of war, but her phone flew out away from the dog, and that's all she wanted was her phone.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is Rocky a good boy?
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
I'm going to get to that.
It sounds like he's just playing.
He doesn't know what's going on, you know? He's like, we got a new friend!
That's my toy.
That's my purse!
Yeah.
And she also was able to, on top of one of the filing cabinets was a bunch of the key cards for the elevators and stuff.
All right.
So she grabbed those too while she was in there. And
So she got her phone.
She got her phone. She got some, and she got the cards, and she was able to get away from the dog.
Okay.
She even made it to the garage gate that led up to the street, but of course it was locked.
Because everything in this building is locked.
Yes. And she started to scream for that. Nobody could hear her but a homeless woman who was walking by, who then started to mock her. Angela was screaming, please help, I'm trapped down here. And the crazy woman up on the street started yelling, please help, I'm trapped. And that's the only person that was around, Angela said. And she tried to use her phone, but there was no service. Okay. So she reached her hand through the grate of the gate, the great gate.
The great gate?
Yeah. And was trying to call, would get like one bar of service and dialed 911, send. And as soon as she did that, she heard something and it stalled her and she dropped the phone. Chicks be dropping stuff.
Right, they do.
When you're scared, you might be dropping stuff. Well, then she tried to reach for the phone, and she couldn't quite get it, but she was so bad wanting to get it, she actually tore off one of her fingernails in the process of scraping against the pavement trying to reach this phone. She didn't know if the call went through, but she thought it might, so she just yelled into it, I'm trapped, down in this parking garage. You got to send somebody. I need help. Well, then she heard Thomas, and she had to run away.
Okay.
And it was Thomas and Rocky now, and they were looking for her, and, of course, she couldn't find a way out. She did finally. She was running to all the doors, trying all the key cards, trying to get, just out of the parking garage.
Yeah.
And she finally was able to get a key card to work. And she got out of the parking garage into the elevator right as Thomas got to that door. And she tried to use the elevator to go up to the lobby, but as the elevator, it stopped between floors.
Okay, right.
So then Angela was stuck, and she called for the call button, and someone answered, and she's pleading with this person to please help, and the guy didn't seem to understand what was going on, trying to tell her to calm down. Mm-hmm. Well, it was Thomas fucking with her.
Yeah, this Tommy.
So as the parking garage security guard, he obviously had power to shut off the elevators, and the help call went to him.
Right.
But he's such a... He made her think that, that she found someone that could help. Well, it was just him. And then she's just trapped in the elevator because she's not going to come out. And,
I cannot get a read on this Tommy guy. It's like, he's treating her to a nice dinner, got her a nice dress.
Revenge is the best.
Her, but now he's mocking her and making fun of her and taunting her.
Yeah, he's quite the character.
So, can't get a read on him.
But Thomas told her they could work this out, and who knows? Maybe they could even fall in love.
Maybe. Crazier things have happened.
It's pretty clear that he loves her.
This is New York City.
Yeah. I've seen movies.
I've watched a movie. What he needs to do is let her go and then chase her to the airport.
Oh, yeah.
And she'll probably just swoon all over him.
Goo Goo Dolls will start playing.
Yes.
Yep, we read it. This isn't a movie, okay?
Oh,
This
okay.
is real life.
Real life. I got you.
So after that, silence. Thomas was angry that Angela wouldn't talk to him. Angela was silent. She was done playing his game. She was just going to sit in the elevator, wait for whatever, other people to get there. When then she heard the elevator floor doors open above her.
Okay.
Because, there's two sets of doors on an elevator. Because the elevator opens and the floor, has doors.
Right.
Floor doors. Well, Thomas was taking a fire hose and lowering it onto the elevator. He then turned the water on, and the water just started filling up the elevator. Because apparently it was airtight, except for the top where the water came through.
Right.
Because Angela said the water soon got up to her knees, and then from the weight of the water, and apparently there was a body on the roof because in the security guard's body fell down into the elevator with Angela.
Security guard from early...
Yeah, that she couldn't find, that rode down in the...
Right.
So that's why. It looked like Thomas killed old security guard.
Okay.
Well, then the doors did open. She was fine. She opened them because, she had to because she would have drowned.
Yeah.
She opened them and they all washed out into the hall. So let me see where I'm at here because I'm just going off memory. So this is level 3 of the parking garage. Angela was once again on the run. Now she's soaking wet, barefoot. It's basically just like Die Hard, Christmas Eve.
This does sound like
I forgot to mention that. She's barefoot because he took her shoes off.
The fire hose being involved. Yeah, I'm getting a lot. The parking garage. It's too bad that Argyle's not down there.
I know. Argyle could have healed all of this.
He wouldn't have known because he'd been listening to music.
Well, she's running, and the only thing she could think to do, because Thomas was just on her, she hid underneath the car, which Thomas found pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, of all the
because
the hiding places in
parking garage, there's not a lot of places.
Pretty limited.
So he's kind of again talking to her. And as he's trying to get her to come out, he starts flattening the tires on the car.
Where could she be?
Flattening one tire at a time. Until eventually, of course, she had to get out and run. And so she's on the run again. And then Thomas goes back to the security office.
So he's flattening tires.
Yeah.
So now, I don't think, unless she is a large human, even flat tires, the car's not going to lower so much that it crushes her.
It probably wouldn't crush, but it might make it harder to get out. It could be more of a squeeze.
Then it's harder for him to get there under.
Yes. Well, he got the 2 tires, and she broke the fuck out, she said.
Okay.
And instead of chasing her, Thomas went back to the security office and started playing music over the loudspeaker. And the first song was Elvis Blue Christmas.
Ah, okay. Well, I mean, he's got good taste.
And then Angela, she got the idea. She got a fire axe, and she started destroying all the cameras because she thought that's why he went back, was so that he could watch her on the camera and see what she's doing. So she finally kind of starts fighting back a little bit more. I mean, she stabbed him in the back, sure, but I mean, she's not just running now. She seems to have a plan. So she takes the axe, destroys all the cameras, and actually walks back to the parking garage office where Thomas is. And she hears Thomas in the office, and she decides she's going to go in there and attack him with the axe. You can only push a lady so far. Yeah. Apparently.
And I mean, you might as well take your chances.
Yeah.
You have an axe.
Yeah.
Enough of this being fucked with and toyed with. So either kill
time
him
for some
or...
action. And then you can ask questions later.
Okay, we need to stop that. Let's stop at that one.
Okay. Well, the voice was actually from another VHS tape. It wasn't Thomas live. It was Thomas on the VHS tape being perved to Angela's unconscious body.
Okay,
like
what's happening?
So Thomas had put another VHS tape in the TV and had it playing loud. And Angela said she thought it was him talking, like the Rocky or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But it was him on the VHS tape. He had recorded himself
while she was unconscious,
caressing Angela's unconscious body. Yeah.
I've decided.
I
decided he's not a good guy.
You're not Team Tommy.
Nah.
Okay, I'm not either.
I was on the fence, but
I'm glad you came to my side.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just
kill somebody like that guy kind of had it coming. He was a creep too.
Right.
But like don't take advantage of women as they're unconscious.
Yeah.
Don't take advantage of anybody ever, but
yeah.
Well, Angela like freaks out and takes an axe to the TV. And then on the security monitor, she actually sees the cops pulling up to the gate. Like
this is very
finally somebody's, like this shit's over.
And she's gonna throw a body out.
No, she turns to run to the gate, and Thomas is right there.
Son of a bitch.
With a taser.
Okay.
And tases her. And then next thing that she knows,
taser beats axe every time.
She wakes up in the trunk of a car. But what happened? Authorities have said that what happened in between that was the cops. They knocked on Thomas's. Thomas changed out of his clothes real fast because the cops said it did take Thomas a second to come to the gate, and they thought he was acting weird. But he said that he was down 2 levels patrolling. Like no one else is here, and they kind of got a weird feeling from him. So they said they were going to search the parking garage.
Okay.
So the cops, that's what they did. They drove around the parking garage, just making sure there's nobody there. And they said while they were driving around, Thomas started playing music again.
All right.
Like super loud over the speakers. They didn't really see anything. And Thomas was telling them all the things they wanted to hear. He was there by himself. He's not allowed to have any guests because he'll be fired. Like, he doesn't understand who could have called. Probably a prank. Just talked his way out of it. Well, this is about the time it turns out Angela woke up in the trunk, and she tried to pound on the trunk, and she screamed, and she could even hear the cop car drive by her, but the cops couldn't hear her because of the music.
Okay.
So she keeps the music's loud, and she was finally able to break her way out of the trunk using a tire iron. And she ran to the gate, but as she was running, she could see the cops' taillights going up the ramp, back out to New York City, the gate closing, and she said Thomas was right there with Rocky.
All right.
And that's when Angela said, okay, nope, that's already happened. So she tried to run again. And Thomas, I think, has turned a corner. He no longer wants Angela to be alive.
Right.
So he went ahead and just let Rocky loose to chase after her.
Okay.
So Angela was able to make it to one of the other cars in the parking garage. She broke out a window and tried to hide in the back seat. Well, Rocky, being good boy that he is,
he can get in the car.
He's following the master's orders. He jumped up in the window trying to get in the car.
Right.
Well, that's when Angela had to stab Rocky in the chest and kill him.
Well, I mean...
So he was a good boy, because he was just doing but he was a good boy at being really bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's not such thing as a bad dog. It's a bad owner.
That's right.
So R.I.P. Rocky.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put that out there.
Just another victim.
Yeah.
Of this asshole Tommy.
He was a good boy.
He was a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Unfortunately, just, good boy on the wrong side.
Yeah, he got tire ironed. It was a particularly bad.
She has the tire iron?
Yeah, she had the tire iron. That's all she had.
The one end.
I got you. The pointy end.
Yeah. In my head, I was picturing the 4 one.
Oh yeah, the L shape, the elbow in it. Yeah, and that could do it too. You could smash a dog's head in. All right, we can prove right now, Beasley.
You.
I'll let you go out to the car and get my tire iron. Beasley's a good boy. So then Angela escaped out of the car, and there was a rent-a-car business in the parking garage.
This is a crazy building.
It's New York City, son.
Okay.
New York City. All right. You've never been, other than the 2 times. And I've never been, other than never. So she broke into the parking garage rental business and called 911. Well, 911 was busy.
Like they
had a recording, she said, and they just kept playing the recording over and over again. Well, then she went and found the key box and pried open the key box and grabbed a set of keys. And at this point, she could tell that Thomas found Rocky because he started screaming just insane, like he was pissed.
Right.
He was enraged, yelling for Angela, saying, this is it now, like, you could have had it all. You ruined everything.
Could have had it all. I am a parking garage attendant.
I made a meal for you.
I could have given you riches you didn't know existed.
I made a TV dinner for you, girl. No one's gonna love you like me.
I apparently control this whole building.
I killed that guy for you.
2 guys. Just stacking up bodies.
Well, Angela was able to get in the car, and she just started driving towards the gate. Mm-hmm. And she admits that she was driving a little bit too fast, but I mean, she's trying to get the fuck out of there. It's a parking garage. Well, because she was hitting some walls.
Right.
But right as she was starting to get to the gate, Thomas sideswiped her in his car.
Okay.
And kind of spun her around, so she just drove off away from the gate.
Yeah.
Just trying to get away from Thomas. Well, she makes a couple other turns, and she comes around a corner, and now her and Thomas are face to face in their cars.
Okay.
And they both start revving their engines at each other, and she says she was ready to die, ready to kill this guy.
Right.
So they just start racing towards each other, playing a game of chicken basically at this point.
Christmas Eve chicken. It's a tradition in my family.
Yeah. We like turkey, but this is chicken.
Yes.
Get it?
I don't get it.
Okay.
That was a foul joke.
Well, they raced towards each other, but Thomas swerved at the last second. He lost. He lost.
He goes right in.
But, unfortunately, Angela was going so fast that she clipped a pole and it flipped her car around, does that be 360 degrees? The car landed back on its wheels.
Okay.
But it fucked her up. She slammed her head off the steering wheel, and she was dazed, but she wasn't locked. She wasn't unconscious. Fortunately, but she played like she was. She said.
Ooh.
And then Thomas came up and tried to was trying to wake her up to take her probably back to the office. Who knows what?
Right.
And she stabbed him in the eye with the pin that she found in the car rental place.
All right, good job.
Well, that hurt Thomas.
Well, that does hurt.
It does.
Yeah.
And it kind of he passed out from the pain for a second.
And your heart, because this is your potential future wife.
Yeah, stabbed you in the eye.
Stabbing you in the eye.
But luckily, he can forgive her for all.
He's got 2 eyes, so I mean.
Yeah. Well, he actually lost consciousness because of the pain for that, and in that second, she was able to get the key off of him. And then, quick thinking on her part, she handcuffed him to the wrecked rental car's steering wheel.
Okay.
And she actually was able to get away.
All right.
But as she was getting away, Thomas woke up and was trying to apologize to her, saying, "How could you do this to me, Angela?" And she wasn't gonna play into his game, so she just kept walking. Well, at this point, Thomas started to call her names.
Okay.
And even called her a cunt.
All right.
So she decided to turn around. There was gasoline leaking out of the vehicle. So she took the taser and tasered the gasoline stream. Because this is all on the cameras. The cops were able to see it. And Thomas caught on fire and died.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So, but the cops didn't charge her for anything because they said they still considered it self-defense.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, she was put through a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of, emotional distress?
Yeah, and the cops actually found her because they were on their way there, because the 911 call, someone did eventually answer, but there was no one on there, and they were able to, go back and time it out, and they think that Thomas actually hung up the 911 call.
All right.
So the second night, they kind of knew they were sending cops there because that's the second 911. That's how it is in Canada. This is the second 911 call from that building.
Yeah.
So they figured something was up. So they actually
and he
found.
was kind of weird the first time.
Yes. So they actually found Angela wandering the snowy streets of New York barefoot.
All right.
And that's the end of the story. She made it. She survived. Well, how else would we get all the information? No charges. Except for being a bad bitch.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And so Thomas, of course, died.
Okay.
And Christmas was saved.
Well, did she make it to Jersey? Do we know?
Sure. She made it to Jersey and she killed her whole family.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole different. Yeah, that's a whole other
she's
story.
fucked up. She's fucked up. It really messed her up.
Yeah.
No, she made it to Christmas. And they weren't able to use a Santa suit because that was evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she really made her sister feel bad about it. Because she's like, remember when I called and had to pretend to be sick so the guy wouldn't kill me and all of you?
Like, this is so you.
Yeah, and you were like, this is so you.
Getting kidnapped. And
remember that?
Yeah.
And then I had to kill the guy and I barely survived. Do you remember?
Yeah. She's like, hey, if you go to sleep, you're going to wake up chained to a chair. 'Cause I learned a thing or two. All right.
So that was based on the movie P2.
Oh, because they were in P2.
Yes, and here's what this is why this might be my favorite movie.
Your favorite movie?
Well, the cover of the DVD says P2, a new level of terror.
And
that's a good dad joke right there.
That is. I feel like they wrote that first. Yeah. And then they're like, we have to write a movie about this.
If you want to watch it, it's an hour and 38 minutes. Okay. Rachel Nichols plays Angela.
Oh, okay. This whole time I thought, what's her name? Alicia Cuthbert, I think. I thought she was in it.
No, you can
Rachel Nichols.
And then Wes Bentley plays Thomas. And Wes Bentley is he's been in more stuff than Rachel Nichols. Wes Bentley was the guy in American Beauty that liked the bag.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the most beautiful bag.
Yeah, he's in a lot of he's pretty good. Pretty good.
So I read the one a synopsis, at the beginning about a businesswoman is pursued by a psychopath after being locked in a parking garage on Christmas Eve. So why don't you go ahead and pull up IMDb? Okay, go to storylines. And go to the second one. I'm going to read it.
It gives you multiple storylines?
Yeah. If you click more storylines, that's the start of it there, if you can find it.
I'm looking.
You can read along with me here. Because these are things that just regular viewers can write and they put on there.
Okay. Okay.
Do you see it?
Is it locked in a room?
No, it starts with a buxom businesswoman.
Oh, these have Okay, yeah, I got you.
Okay, so this is what a viewer wrote for this, and this made me laugh so much. A buxom businesswoman awakens.
Important to point out that she's buxom.
So buxom.
Yeah,
that's a lost word right there.
Yes, but that is
girl, you buxom as fuck.
That's a key part of the storyline.
She's buxom.
Yes.
If you're on the edge about watching it, you're like, wait, just how buxom is she?
She's got some titties on.
Yeah.
So
a buxom businesswoman awakens to discover she's chained to a chair and held captive by a demented, obsessed security guard in the parking garage of the office building where she works.
This guy doesn't say.
He was packing.
Right.
Dazed and confused and swimming in dizziness, the groggy Vixen
okay.
tries to shake off the chloroform he clocked her with. I wonder if that was supposed to be choked her with. Clocked her with and became herself again. But when the guard suddenly unchains her, he thrusts the still drugged beauty into a game of cat and mouse. The still drugged beauty, stripped of her business suit and reclad braless in a backless halter dress, the stumbling executive must escape her crazy captor in parking level P2 or receive a deep whiff of chloroform that stops her dead in her tracks and knocks the voluptuous bombshell flat on her bare back.
What is...
Will the buxom beauty escape or became a slave to his chloroformed into Unco?
Yeah,
I think he came. He's jerking off while he's writing this. He's like, oh, she's so buxom. Oh, she's a vixen. And then he just came and he couldn't type anymore.
Well, send. Enter. What? Who? Okay, so
It doesn't say. It doesn't give credit to who wrote that.
I just hope whoever wrote that somehow finds this episode and listens. And I want you to know, sir,
you're as bad as Thomas.
that you're a terrible human.
Yeah, like he's the next one. He's like he could. I think this is the guy that probably he's like I could see why he did that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if he could just get alone with her in a room, he could talk. You know,
Oh, she is buxom. I'm seeing some pictures of this movie. She is buxom.
Oh man.
Yeah, but like, so he watches this whole movie, and then as soon as he goes to write the plot line, he's like, "She's got some big tits."
Yep.
He takes
braless.
He takes her clothes off, and she's braless.
Yeah.
So that's a key factor.
Put that in there, and then just at the end, just have your brain melt.
Oh man. So
How was the second real crime? And you said you haven't really seen that movie?
I haven't. I've seen like bits and pieces of it on TV here and there. There was a reason why, like when it first came out, I was gonna go watch it and I didn't.
I think I saw it in the theater.
So a little bit of trivia.
We watched that little bit of trivia. It's not on there. Me and Mike watch that every Christmas along with Die Hard.
You watched this movie?
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie.
Okay. Oh,
it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
When we were at presents, we watched Die Hard and P2. And then I came up with this joke. P2, more like PU.
But you watch it all the
like
time,
it.
so.
Yeah, but it's not great. I watch a lot of stuff that's not great.
So, a little bit of sad context for the movie. According to an interview he gave to the New York Times in 2010, this movie was made during the middle of Wes Bentley's decade-long, extremely serious addiction to cocaine and heroin. He said in the interview that he only accepted any movie roles during that time so that he would have money to buy drugs. Damn.
Yeah, I did not know that. I love Internet Movie Database, but I don't think I've ever looked at the trivia on this movie.
Always, if I watch a movie, I immediately go and look at the
I might have
trivia.
just forgotten about it.
14 white dresses were used. Each one was in various stages of dirtiness and decay.
Yep.
The film was shot in 2 months, exclusively at night.
She didn't wear a bra for 2 months.
At a real working Toronto parking garage.
It was Canada!
Yep. 3 different dogs were used to portray
They're all good boys.
Rocky. In Spanish, phonetically, the title P2 sounds exactly like pedos. Pedos. That means farts.
Wes Bentley all coked up. He's like, yeah, farts. Let's do that.
Farts,
Let's make a movie about that.
So Spain distribution companies in Spain opted for the more generic title of this movie because they didn't want to put a movie out called Farts. So they called it Parking 2.
Fart Revenge.
So not only does it share a lot of the same similarities to Die Hard, it shares basically the same plot to a low-budget direct-to-video film from 1991 called Lower Level. Character Angela is stated to be from Maine, which is also where Rachel Nichols, the actress playing her, is from. Rachel Nichols, when you first said that, I thought you meant from Inside the NBA. And I was like, I will watch anything she's in.
We should still watch this all the way.
I would like to marry her.
Now that we real crime, well, maybe you should chloroform
I'm
her.
not gonna do that.
Okay.
I will watch this because I do like Wes Bentley a whole lot.
I like Wes Bentley a lot too, and I think he's really good in this. Even though now apparently he was all cooked up.
I don't know who this Rachel Nichols is.
She hasn't been in a ton. I was trying to think of looking for like something I could say that she was from that you might know. And looking through that stuff, you might see something there.
She was in 2 different Bon Jovi music videos.
Well, I mean, who hasn't been?
Misunderstood and All About Loving You.
Why? Is she like married to Bon Jovi?
I don't know. She was in the Amityville Horror from 2005.
Conan the Barbarian, 2011. I always think Rachel
Sisterhood of
McAdams.
the Traveling Pants 2.
Oh. Well,
she was Scarlet in G.I. Joe.
Yeah, that was the one that I was going to write down. Scarlet and G.I. Joe.
All right. Yeah, so
nothing.
I don't know why I thought it was Alicia Cuthbert that was in this.
She's in one episode of Taken, the
TV series.
The TV series.
All right, well,
and Wes Bentley's been in a lot more
he's
than
in
just American Beauty and this movie.
He's good in everything.
So what are his Coke movies?
I would say. So this was what 2007. You said.
Yeah, like where are the ones around this?
not a lot of.
What was Cokie McCokerson
Oh, he played
up to?
Blackheart and Ghost Rider. He played the main villain in Ghost Rider. That makes sense.
that
he would take that.
It's like, yeah, Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider. Let's do that. Let's do that.
A lot of shitty movies.
I can get a lot of coke for that.
Oh,
I mean, Nicolas Cage probably sold him the coke on that one.
From 2001, Soul Survivors. That was a decent little horror movie that no one ever watched.
Maybe that was before the coke.
That might have driven the coke. All right. Well, he's in that show Yellowstone that everybody says is the greatest show ever. So
yeah, I haven't seen that, but
I'm gonna start watching that because everybody keeps telling me I need to. All right,
you just gotta do everything people tell you to.
I do. Yeah, pretty much. I am very influential, or easily influenced. Is what I was going for. All right, well, that was awesome.
Real crime.
So we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
And we'll be back, and we'll see what's catch up.
Okay.
What's going on. All right.
Love you. And she said that it was the biggest one she's ever seen.
And then I said, the Snosberries taste like Snosberries.
Yep.
So, and then there we were.
Man.
We're back.
That was crazy.
That was nuts.
All right.
The biggest she'd ever seen.
Yep. Easily.
I still don't believe her. But I think she says that, all of the Wonkas.
Yeah.
And Oompas. What are we doing? So, this is us without drugs.
Well... half of us.
Some of us. So, so I kind of talked about this before we started recording, and you hadn't heard anything. There is some wild shit happening in our area.
Let's go.
So, some true crime.
Okay.
The other day, they found the local police here responded to a what are they called? Wellness check.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? Yeah. Responded to a wellness check and found in a part of town that is not great. And they're not releasing a ton of information, so I'm going off what I see rumors on Facebook, which so who the fuck knows?
Well, that's 100%.
They did find a dead female though.
That's been confirmed.
That part we know.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of people have said that they found the lady. She'd been tied to a chair.
Oh.
And it was a very bloody scene.
Oh.
So no other information's been released yet. And then somehow, the same time that info was getting leaked out everywhere, somebody started this rumor that caught like wildfire overnight, and has been basically confirmed. The police actually posted a thing on Facebook saying this is not true.
Oh, wow.
Not that part, but somebody started a rumor that, so there's used to be an old marble factory here in town, and now it's been, they made it like, they call it like the dog house, not the dog house. What is that place called? They did like
the polo clubs across the street. Yeah. They have like the dog pound.
They've done some like boxing events in it.
Yeah.
It's a shitty building.
Well, it caught on fire a couple years ago, so I mean, there's not really anything inside of it because half of it burned up and homeless gather there.
Yeah. Well,
it's right there right by the river off the shore where like a lot of homeless camps are.
Yeah. So somebody started a rumor that they found 3 dead bodies in there.
Oh.
And so everybody started being like, what the fuck is happening? Like, is there somebody... But supposedly that's not true. Apparently no bodies were found there. But they did find the one body in that area. So we don't know what the details are of that. But it does seem like something went down. Like, they are investigating it as a homicide. So...
They need our help.
Something happened, yes. And then, I think you probably heard about this, though, like a week before, or 2 weeks before, maybe, a guy, not right here in town, but like a little ways up the road, over in Ohio, a guy decapitated his mother.
Jesus.
Did you hear about that?
No!
Okay, you need to read the news.
I'm watching movies here and doing reports.
So this dude... it's in New Matamoros, Ohio, which is about 20 minutes from us.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes. He lived, so his mother, his sister, and I believe like his sister's son, a little boy, all lived in this house. I don't know who all lived there. They were all there, though. He apparently attacks his mother, fucking decapitates her. The little boy... I guess watches this, sees this happen. The guy goes to leave. The sister tries to stop him, and he basically tells her, I'll fucking kill you if you don't get out of my way. So she gets out of his way, luckily.
Smart.
He jumps in his car, takes off. The police do. He's been arrested. But, like, yeah, so he fucking just cuts his mom's head off in front of this kid. Then there's, a few months ago, right up the street from me, an elderly couple's house got broken into, and the couple were held, I don't know, knife point, gun point, what, but they were held in their home for a little while somebody robbed them of a bunch of shit. And then just earlier over the weekend, I think, another elderly couple.
Oh, shit.
Somebody broke into an elderly couple's house.
What kind of piece of shit
held them up?
Elderly people.
They did get arrested.
All right, good.
So I'm assuming it's the same person.
I hope so, yeah.
But, like, a lot of shit's happening right here in our area.
I don't want to leave. I live here now.
Yeah. So there have been some wild true crime times going on around here.
We need to go investigate the Marble. I've always wanted to walk in there.
Yeah, I always, like, I don't think I've ever been in it because the few shows they did there, I was always just looking. I was like, that building does not look like I would not go to a show.
Yeah, it's like off the road a little bit. There's like trees overgrown.
It looks like the roof's gonna cave in anytime. It's just an old building. So, but yeah, it's fucking crazy around here right now. So, happy holidays, I guess.
Mama, don't let your babies grow up to decapitate you.
Just don't let them grow up because they're fucking
psychopaths.
But yeah, so that's what's going on in our area.
All right. Good talk.
Yeah. If I'm going to keep up on the story of the body that was found, and we'll give everybody updates on that as they come in. But yeah, I came across the one of the Facebook pages I follow is like a scanner talk thing, and for the most part, it's just like people constantly being like,
fire on this street.
Well, they'll be like, I just heard sirens. Anybody know what's going on? It's like, there's probably nothing. Calm
Mind
down.
your business.
But every once in a while, there's some weird shit that comes across it. So.
Really weird.
But yeah, other than that, other than the horrific things happening around us, what have you been up to?
I got a treadmill and I've been running.
You got a treadmill, back to running, huh?
I've done 11 straight days of a half hour a day.
Okay.
So I've already lost like 5.5 hours of time that could have been like playing video games.
Something productive.
Yeah, I've been running on the treadmill, but kind of feels like it's not going anywhere.
I get it.
Okay.
Because it's like stationary.
It's stationary.
Right.
But man, it was a son of a bitch getting going because it's like this old treadmill my mom gave me. The electronics don't work on it.
Yeah.
And like the track was all messed up, so I tore my fingers up trying to get the track back on. But it's good. It's in my room, so I don't have any excuses. I just every day I run at least a half hour.
I have never been able to buy a treadmill that wasn't fucked up. Like, I've had probably 4.
Yeah.
And all of them, like, the belt skips.
Knock on wood. This one.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
And
yeah,
it's like it folds up if I wanted to, so it doesn't take up a lot of room. So.
Because you were pretty hardcore into the whole running thing.
That's when I lost like 50 pounds pretty much was on that. There's a good sweat you get from only running.
But running sucks.
Yeah.
So
I brought my TV up, so I watched that the True Story.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of that while I was running, and then other movies. And I also I have a new game for us here.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
Sure.
I'm talking about me and my running.
I like games.
This is a game where I see a headline and I don't read the story, and I want you to tell me the story that goes with the headline.
Okay.
So I have 3 of them.
All right.
The first one, Dwayne Johnson celebrates breaking Sandra Bullock's record.
Oh, yes.
Okay. What happened?
I heard about this. So, Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock.
We all know him as The Rock.
Uh-huh.
He broke Sandra Bullock's record.
Yep.
Yeah. Sandra Bullock, of course, famous from the movie Speed.
Yes. 28 Days Later.
Time to Kill, I believe.
Yeah. Miss Congeniality. The Net.
The Net.
That was a good one.
I don't know that one. So she held the record for. I can't even believe he broke this record. I just can't believe he broke her record. So she held the record for reading the most. What are we calling them? What are they known as? This is stupid. I can't think of anything funny for this. She broke the record for reading the most world records.
Oh!
Guinness World Records.
So his record is knowing the most world records.
So now he knows the most world records.
Okay.
And it was pretty easy to break. It was just time consuming.
Yeah.
He just basically had to sit down and do it.
He doesn't have he has jobs, but nothing like...
If anyone wants to break it, all you have to do is read all the world records.
Uh-huh.
And then anytime there's a new one, you just read the new one.
But
of course, you're setting a new record every time.
Yeah.
So you have
Rock
to just read it again.
He grinds.
So The Rock, I don't know how
he's probably in the gym reading about records.
Yeah.
And how does Sandra Bullock feel about this?
Well, she was quoted as saying, I'm not going to say anything on the record.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I know what that stands for. She's pissed.
Right. Yes.
All right, next headline.
Okay.
Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani announce big news, and The Voice fans will lose it.
Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton.
They're a couple. They met on the Voice, and after Gwen Stefani got divorced from Gavin Rosdale from Bush,
Gavin, not Glavin.
Her and Blake got together.
Right.
And they have a big announcement, big news, and The Voice fans will lose it.
Yeah, they're gonna sacrifice a human being in front of a live audience.
It's not their first time.
Not their first time. They're very good.
That's how they got their talent.
It's going to be Gavin Rosdale.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Glycerine.
Well, so what a lot of people don't know is Blake and Gavin are both Highlanders.
There can only be one.
And Gwen only dates Highlanders. So, but yes.
She's just a girl.
So she goes from one to the other. She kind of scouts them out, finds them, kills them. Moves from one. So Blake, he knows this.
If he wants to continue, he has to destroy Gavin.
But she's worth it.
Yeah.
And he knows it's probably going to ultimately lead
He'll write a
to
song about it.
Her finding another one, another Highlander.
Carson Daly.
Well,
isn't that the host of The Voice? I don't know much about The Voice.
I don't know.
Believe it or not, I don't know a lot about it.
I didn't know Carson Daly was still alive. So
he's hosting TRL to nobody in his mom's basement.
I actually thought he still had his late night show, like you said, I thought it was just like him in his basement, still doing that late night show.
Honey, are you still on your show?
Yeah,
Mom. NSYNC is coming over. Okay, honey.
Carson Daly, just he should be our show logo. Because he's just a picture of mediocrity.
Don't like that. I'm sure he'll sign on to it.
Just the most mediocre.
I'm going to get a Carson Daly tattoo
man
now.
Ever. Yeah.
But he made it. One of us. One of us.
Somehow.
All right, we got one more headline. Are you ready for this? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, yes. And I'm sure everyone listening is really enjoying it.
10 new dating slang words to know in 2021. Just give me a couple.
Jizank.
Yeah, there's 10, but just give me 2 or 3.
Yes,
dating slang words for 2021.
Yeah, so Jizank.
Jizank?
Jizank.
What is that?
Well, I can't say it on
Okay.
air.
It's Jizank. It sounds like you jizz, and then you load it into a pen, and then you write out a love contract.
No, Jizank.
Jizank.
It's Jizzank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that when you get jizz on your ankle sock?
It involves a little witchcraft here and there.
There's one, Jizank.
Floople. Floople's a good one. Floople. If you can get a
Floople before the fifth date.
Look, you go on Tinder.
Yeah.
All right. You go
hashtag
on Tinder,
Floople.
You hashtag Floople, and it's kind of like a signal.
Yeah.
To the other Flooplers. So, and
2021 has got to be the year of the Floople.
2022. We're only like a week or two out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But these
this
is an old headline too. It says new dating slang words for 2021.
All I'll tell you about floopling
is
when you're in the middle of the floople, you just do whatever you could. Just do not sneeze. Yeah, you don't want to sneeze while you're floopling.
All right, those were good. Jizank and floople.
Yeah, and then there's wombatting.
Wombatting.
Yeah, wombatting's a pretty good dating term.
Is that where you spread your sack across her face?
No, you disgusting pervert.
No. Or his face. So whatever gets your sack off.
No, you are. It is not a sexual term at all.
Excuse me, sir.
No, wombatting is a very romantic.
Oh, okay.
Just so if you're interested in, I know you're kind of interested in getting back out there. into the dating pool.
Uh-huh.
So, just
hoping to drown.
I would if I was in that pool, sir. If I was you, I would try to wombat with a girl.
I'm a floople a wombat.
Floople wombat.
Hopefully I'll jizz ink everywhere. Thanks. See, that's why I don't read the stories, because I know you have the answers.
I read all stories.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I come to you for the answers.
Anytime you need to know the context behind a headline.
I might bring this back.
I saw a good headline.
I
saw a good headline the other day that was from like the 1920s. So I forget now why it popped up. But it was decapitated man may have been alive.
Oh!
Which I was like, so wait. But then they were just like, the story was that
he probably got his head cut off
while he was alive. Which I was like, well, that's misleading.
Yeah.
Because I thought like he was decapitated, and they were like, you know what, we buried him, but I think
he might have still been alive.
We think we fucked up.
Yeah.
That's on us.
We heard some screams from down there, but we're not digging them back up.
But, we didn't know which hole it was coming from.
So many holes.
Well, because if it's decapitation, you dig 2 holes. You bury the head in one.
Sure.
Because you don't want them to reattach, because then you get zombies.
That's right.
So that's just safety precautions there.
That's in my will. When I die, cut my head off, bury me and my head in 2 separate holes.
Oh, I'm glad that's you. I was going to do that anyways.
And bury me with my guns on.
So now that I know it's a fit...
Bury me with my guns on!
They changed their name. Boba Flex.
They're not Boba Flex?
They're not Boba Flex anymore. They changed their name to something. I don't understand why.
Why would you change your name?
Boba Flex changes name, or name change.
Floople? Wombat?
The Flooplers. They're now the Lonely Ones.
Oh.
Like what?
I thought there was already a band called the Lonely Ones.
There's the Loved Ones, which is a great band.
There's like a Lonely Boys or Lost Lonely Boys. Or...
Los Lobos.
I don't know.
Yeah. I just don't understand.
Whatever their band name is, just fuck them.
Why would you change your... I mean, as a podcast that's changed their name 40 times.
Well, we're not nearly as famous as them. I mean, not that they're like super famous, but I mean, I think that, in the rock scene, I'd say.
Yeah.
I guess get that buzz. We're talking about them.
I guess.
That buzz is going.
But yeah, so... Anything? I mean, nothing. You got a show. You got a show tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, the
Busy Bee.
Yep, the Busy Bee. It's probably gonna be our last one with the Busy Bee until we're able to go back outside.
Yeah, because they're all outdoors, right?
Yeah. So the last one was indoors. This one's gonna be indoors, and we're probably gonna take a couple months off till like April.
Oh, you have done them indoors.
Yeah, we had the last show was indoors, and this one is. So I mean, if you want to come out, shows at 6 and 8. The food's really good. This will probably be our last one for a few months.
Now, if you want to go to it, this show is on December 3rd.
Yes.
So depending on when you listen to this,
yeah.
Unless you have a time machine, and if you do, please let us know.
Let us know. We'll go back and fix that article from 2020 or from 1920.
Yeah, we'd also, probably make some better decisions.
Nah, I wouldn't.
No?
Nah.
Okay. Well,
fuck it.
I might change a few things. Yeah, so I think that's about all for this week's episode. Really dig the real crimes.
Me too.
I may just turn the podcast into making you do all the work.
Cool. We'll do an episode every 3 months.
What?
We'll do it. If I'm doing all the work, we're doing an episode every 3 months.
Watch. You got me to watch the show. True Story with Kevin Hart on Netflix. New show on there. If you're a fan of Kevin Hart at all.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes
making his return to Hollywood.
It's Billy Zane's in it. Yeah. It's a fucking great show.
I liked it a lot.
I did not expect it to be as what it was.
Uh-huh.
It's only 7 episodes, about a half hour. The first one's an hour long.
First one's an hour. The rest are a half hour long.
So it's an easy watch.
Yeah, 4 hours. I watched it in 2 days.
So other than that and P2, have you watched anything else that's been?
Nope.
Nothing else?
Nah. Nothing.
All right.
Nothing worth mentioning.
I would.
Nothing to prolong this.
You don't want to prolong it. That was another one of the dating terms.
Prolonged.
Prolonged, and it's not what you think it is. All right. Well, all of you out there enjoy your wombatting and your floopling, and happy jizanking. We'll be back. What do we got? A couple more episodes this month, and then around the holidays we'll take that 3rd week off. Because I'm not interested in trying to schedule around some shit.
No.
So,
too much work.
What?
Too much work.
Yeah, it's too much. So we'll be back next week with a new episode. Until then, thank you all for listening. Do
like us, share us.
Yeah, do all that shit.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate
Tell me I'm a good boy.
We finally got Spotify fixed. I don't know if we brought that up last episode.
Yeah,
or not.
we were a wrestling podcast. Now we're true crime.
So comedy.
Right? All right, comedy.
So thanks to Smarsh who brought that to my attention. I actually changed it like a year ago.
Yeah.
I changed it. I just thought
Spotify be tripping.
Well, I thought it had changed, but Smarsh brought to my attention that we were still a wrestling show. So it took some emailing back and forth with Spotify's.
We had to prove that we weren't
support.
wrestlers.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what wrestling is. So yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you later.
Bye.